What's up? Tuesday morning. Didn't think I was going to record today, but I don't know. I guess a couple things have happened in my life that's exciting. Not in a good way. Most of it not in a good way. So, let's see. Yesterday work went well. We only got 4 done. We showed up and I guess the rail crew, they were still moving shit around when we got there. We got there at 10 o'clock. We had a late start because we wanted them to get everything moved before we got there. We got there and they still hadn't had anything moved. I don't understand. They didn't want to start until we got there. I don't know. But they derailed their engine. They have an engine that they move shit around the yard with. And I don't know. Their switchman might have gotten a little bit of trouble because I think he didn't set the switch all the way or so. I don't know. You would think that those are things are kind of like, you can't half-ass it. It's a fucking rail switch. You got to like lock it in and everything. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but they derailed just the front trucks of an engine. They got it. It took them like an hour, and then they got it put back on the rail. I don't know how the fuck they did that because I used to work for a company that's what we did, like little derails. Well, we did big ones too, like big fucking train crashes. But we would also do like little derails in yards and stuff. So I was expecting my old buddies to show up, come pick up that engine, and that was going to be a whole ordeal. I mean, they work pretty fast. It takes like half an hour, maybe a little bit more to get set up. And then it takes them 10 minutes to pick it up and move it. And then they can go put all their shit away and. But I don't know what they did, but they worked it. They got it. Maybe with the power units, they're able to block some shit up or something. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they got it put back on. They got everything moved, and then we finally started actually working at 1. It wasn't until like a little after 1 that we actually started working. Okay, I did put my bucket up. I was like, fuck, did I leave my bucket out? No, I picked it up. I put it in the side box. Um, so they got it. They got everything going. We started working. Everything was going fine. We had a minute spill, and it was the dude, the guy that is still learning. I don't know. Whenever you're putting lids on shit, and if the lid is loose, you can kind of imagine that's not gonna seal. But this guy just thought, oh, I'll put the lid on and it'll be good. And the seal, the little rubber gasket that goes inside of some of our lids, well, all of our lids, uh, it, whenever he pulls off the cap for the vacuum, it sucked the seal inside of the tank because it's vacuum. It's got vacuum pressure. Oh, I wonder if it got chewed up by the fucking meter. That could be a problem. I just realized that. Um, so I have to tell him. He's been pulling all day, and they're like, it's going so slow. That makes perfect sense. The seal is stuck inside the meter. Okay. All right. Well, we kind of got it figured out. Anyways, well, and that would, it's also slow on offloading, which is odd. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to swap out one of his hoses or something. So, yeah, anyways, his lid wasn't put on very well, and it spilled out whenever he switched to pressure. His valves don't seal also very well. It's just that's why we have lids. You make sure you cap everything up just in case the valves don't hold all the way. They hold a lot, but they don't hold all of it. So whenever he turned it on pressure, it was pressuring off into a rail car, but it was also putting pressure on the outlet or the inlet tube where we load from and it was pushing liquid into that, and it sprayed out a little bit. Not a big deal. Actually, it's actually not a big deal. It's a good training moment because he needs to know, because he's been doing this for 3 weeks now. He's going to need to know how to do this because they are going to end up sending him out by himself at some point in time, or with people that don't know how to run a vac tanker, because he'll be the Class A vac tanker driver. They're going to send him out on a job. Yeah, go out there, suck out that pit. And he's not going to, he's going to have to get used to being able to think for himself. But he'll be all right. Maybe. Whatever. Or he won't last. I don't know. Because, I don't know how you can be on a job this much and not learn. But he's doing better. I didn't have to go over there and babysit him the whole fucking time. But I did have to go over there and check him out, make sure he's doing things right. We had to swap a hose. That threw a big wrench into his whole algorithm of what he does. I'm like, we got to swap hoses. He's like, oh, fuck, how do we do that? I'm like, you got to neutralize the tank. You got to start pulling vacuum. You got to fucking get it. This guy's fucking in my lane. Fucking flatbed just about took out my bumper. Sorry, I got to spit. I need a drink. I just uploaded the last episode, so you guys haven't had a chance to respond to tell me if that's annoying or not. So I did it again. But now the episode is live, so if that does bother you, now I'll know. Anyways, everything went well. We only got 4 done because there's a potential storm moving in, and I didn't want to be in the middle of a 2-hour process when the storm rolled in like last time. So we just cut it up early, got the fuck out of there. Not really early, on time, but we were gonna, if it was gonna be a nice day, we were gonna stay late and get a couple more, but oh well. We left, we went home. Yeah. So while I was there working last week or the week before, I think it was the first week we were working there. The rail crew is also there working. They got their truck and we're on their property, so I understand. But we were doing our best to leave as much room because we have to be next to these engines. We don't have enough hose to park 100 feet away and hook up to one of these engines and suck them dry. We have to get right next to them. And there's only a couple of areas where we have to park where it gets really close. You can still pass as long as we park really far over. But it was our first week, and one of our guys did not park all the way over. And one of the rail guys started cussing me a little bit. I'm sure he was cussing me by himself. He didn't cuss directly at me, but he was not happy. We work here too. You can't just block the fucking road. Like, where else would you like us to park, bud? Why don't you clean up your fucking yard enough for 2 cars to be on the fucking road? All your trash is just piled up along the fucking road. How about you pick the shit up? I didn't say that, but if you want 2 cars to fit on your road at all times, and you guys are the guys running this fucking place, pick your shit up. You got shit just hanging out, just random rail knocked over, fucking laying on the ground. It's like, we can't run that shit over. We'll blow a tire. And it's hard to get really close to it without blowing a tire. We're in a semi truck, it's like, we got more to watch out for. Anyway, so he cussed me about that. Yesterday, right after I got done loading my second load, I put the truck in drive, I started moving, and they pulled up, they straight up blocked the road set up their out. All I had to do was pass them, and there was enough room for me to pass where they were, but they parked right in the middle of the road, hopped out quick, pulled their outriggers and everything, and opened up their crane, and they were just, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. They picked up a piece of rail, put it on their truck, picked up another piece of rail, set it back down, went back, picked up the piece of rail that they put on their truck, and then put it back down, and then stood around and talked for 20 minutes. And I'm just sitting there in the road like, hello, can you guys fucking move? Like, I'm ready to fucking offload right now. And had they done that, I would have gotten another load off. But they just blocked the whole fucking road. They drove past, they waved at me. I didn't fucking wave. I didn't even look at them. I just fucking waited for them to get the fuck out of my way, and I fucking went. And then I go to offload, and then they do a big U-turn. They come drive real fucking slow right next to me. I'm like, these motherfuckers, you mad because I fucking didn't wave at you? You mad because you blocked the whole fucking road? Like, when we blocked the road, it was literally for 2 minutes. You blocked the road for 45 minutes of me just sitting there. I mean, I'm getting paid, and y'all are the ones paying me. But they're also union. They don't give a fuck. They want, every job is a 4-man job. Every job is going to take 2.5 hours, no matter what the fuck they're doing. Union fuckheads are slow as fuck, okay? Most of them. I'm over here just creating enemies right now. Fucking, I've worked for the union. I know how it is, okay? You're slow as fuck. You don't give a shit about anything. Nothing's your job. But if somebody else is doing something, being productive, then that's your job. You fuckheads, okay? I deal with that whenever we haul trash sometimes, because we'll park the trailers, but sometimes there's not a spot to park the trailer. Like, they don't leave any open spots, so we have to park it off to the side, and then they yell at us for parking it there. That's not really a union issue. But sometimes we have to call them for them to pull the trailer out. Like, all they have to do is pull the trailer out 50 feet, park it, and then wait for the trash guys to compact it. Or not compact it, but just get the door shut on the compactor trailer. And then they park it in an open spot, and then I'm allowed to get it. But sometimes I don't want to wait that fucking long because it's a Saturday or something, and I go fucking pull the trailer out, let the trash guys close it up, and then I fucking leave. Takes 10 minutes. But the union guys have called our bosses and been upset that we were doing their job. It's like, well, if you would do your fucking job, we wouldn't have to. Union fuckheads. Okay? You slow motherfuckers. I don't know. They're fucking assholes. They're just assholes. A lot of them. I mean, I appreciate them, but they're a lot of fucking just dickheads with big ass heads, is what my experience has been. Now, there are a lot of cool union guys out there, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I was a Teamster for a little while, and yeah, I was forced into the union by my lumber company because a union company bought us, and then they were like, if you want your job, you have to sign up, and you have to pay dues. You have to do. I'm like, what the fuck? How about no? How about we just keep doing shit the way it is? They're like, no, we'll get in trouble if we have you guys doing the non-union guys doing union work, so you have to. I'm like, this sounds like a fucking trap. And then it was. And that's why I don't work for the lumber company anymore. And the shit that I heard coming out of there later on, it was bad. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Fuck that shit. So that was a little bit of excitement. It really wasn't a whole lot, but I make it out to be a little bit more in my own head. So that's why I'm talking about it. Finished the day out, things went okay. And yeah, on the way home, I don't know. I saw the guy, the training guy. He's not training anymore. He's billable. He is fully trained, so he is out here on the road. And I saw him about take out a bumper of a car. I'm like, man, you got to watch your length. You got to leave a little bit more room. Like these cars, I don't understand. Like you used to drive a truck, so you should know. Just let the cars go by because they are going to go by a lot faster. You can put your blinker on, and that usually speeds them up. They're like, oh shit, I better fucking get around this guy. He's getting over. I don't want to be stuck behind him. But no, he just fucking drives into fucking traffic and fucking takes the lane, whatever lane he wants. And I'm like, I see an issue. I see a potential issue in the future with this guy. But hey, I didn't hire him. I'm just the guy that's supposed to train him to not fuck up. And then yeah, we get back to the shop, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you park first, so I can park next to you." I'm like, "Okay," but I park where I was already parked, which is it's actually not a hard place to park as long as you know how to back up. And I just parked there, and he's like, "Oh well, fuck." And then he goes over. And instead of doing a big loop and then turning his tractor trailer around, pointing out the gate to just back up straight right where he needs to be, he pulls into this little area, jackknifes the truck. He had his rear bumper of his, I don't know how the fuck he did it so quick, but he got his rear bumper almost up against the building, like with 10 feet maybe, and then 5 feet from the fence. Like he was just completely sideways in between two objects. And I'm like, whoa, like, because I just parked my truck and I was getting my shit ready. And I just watched him pull up there. I was like, he's doing the jackknife park, which is like something you'll use at truck stops. But yeah, there's no reason to do that here. We have a big open area. And as long as you know, you don't have to turn very sharp to get the truck parked, but he'll pull in there and he'll straight up jackknife the truck as almost fucking putting the exhaust on the trailer, and then back it into this, and I'm like, dude, you need to, and like he'll just keep going back and forth, jackknifed, and I'm like, dude, just pull forward. I called him and I'm like, hey man, just pull forward, straighten up your tractor and your trailer, and then back straight up. Like, I don't know why you're doing it so hard. You're taking forever to park a truck and trailer, and you're doing it in an unsafe manner. You're going to hit something. Why don't you just either wait for somebody to come? Because if you hit something and I'm here, me and you are the only two here, and you hit something because you're over there being dumb, guess who's getting the fucking blame for that? Me, because I wasn't over there watching you and stopping you before you hit something. But every time I go over there and I watch him, he does even worse. I'm like, turn. I'm even like spinning my hand. I'm like, this is for your steering wheel. When I'm spinning my fucking finger, that's for your steering wheel. Turn your steering wheel that way. Turn your steering wheel that way. Pretty fucking simple. So I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to let you, a lot of people like to learn on their own. So I'm going to go back there, roll your windows down, and I'm going to yell if you're going to hit something. I'm not even going to tell you how to back up. I'm just going to yell if you're going to hit something, because this guy does not follow any of my backup directions at all. He keeps jackknifing the truck, and I'm like, dude, this means straighten up. Pull forward and straighten up. But he just can't get it. I don't know. He just can't get it. Anyways, so that leads us to me leaving work. And I get my truck fired up, everything. I go in the shop, and the metal bin that they threw away so many stainless steel hardware, like bolts and nuts and washers and bushings and all kinds of shit. I don't know why they decided it was probably 6 5-gallon buckets worth of brand new, clean, good hardware that they just dumped in our metal bin. And they were like, they didn't want to go through it and do anything. They were like, just scrap it. And I see that and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm kind of glad they do that because then I can take all this shit home. But I got to dig through the fucking dumpsters. I got me a shelf, like it's a foldable shelf. There's no shelf on it, but it's just the stand. You like bolt it to the wall, and then it's a shelf that you can just pop up and then pop down. I got 2 arms for it. I'm like, why is this in the I mean, obviously they don't give a shit. They'll just buy a new shelf. That's old shelf. Throw it away. So I'd fucking take all that shit. I got me a big ass ratchet. Somebody threw it away. I tested it. It works fine. I don't understand. It might need a little bit of grease, but it goes both directions. So maybe it is stripped out. You know, you don't know until you fucking put it on a big ass bolt you're trying to undo. But I got me a big ass ratchet. I got me the shelf. I got me a bucket, not a bucket, but like a box full of bolts and nuts that match, and a bunch of washers and some more of these little rubber bushings that I'm like, well, first off, rubber bushings don't go in the fucking metal bin. But I don't give a fuck about that. I'm taking the bushings home because I used some in my son's little dirt bike that he's got. The handlebars were loose, and I just threw some of these rubber bushings in there, and now it's not as loose. It's not great, but it's not as loose, so that's good. Now, I got me a bunch of big fucking bolts and nuts. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with them, but I'd rather have them than watch them get scrapped for nothing, you know? And then I grabbed something else. Oh, I grabbed some wire. There was just some wire in there. I grabbed it. I'm like, I could use this. Because it's a red and black wire. Probably about 5 foot long each one. So I just grabbed it because I can use that. I don't know. I'm using 1979 wire right now. Like I've stripped the whole wiring harness out of my 79 K10 and I rewired the whole thing. And I just stripped all the wire out, threw all the bad wire that's all like brittle and bad, and threw it all away. And then the other wire, any wire that was still in decent shape, I saved it and coiled it up. And so I have a vast amount of colored wire that I can use for various items. But I've been running low on red and black, so it's kind of hey, I got me a red and black wire now. They're pretty good length. Most of the wire that I need goes from the cab or from the dash to the engine bay, and so I don't need a lot of length. But then I get in my truck and I start heading home. I get almost all the way home and my truck starts sputtering. Now, it started doing this once before, and I pulled over because I had just replaced the cap, the rotor, the plugs, the wires. And the Ching Chong wires that I put on there, the rubber boot is a little bit longer than what I would prefer. So the rubber boot I figured I hit a bump, and I guess I did. One of those little rubber, it just popped off the distributor cap. Not all the way, but enough that maybe the spark was intermittent, and that's what was causing me to sputter. Fired the truck back up, drove it, and it drove just fine. Didn't think anything of it. Then I didn't drive the truck again for a little while. Rode the bike a couple of times. And then last night, I was driving home and it started sputtering again. I'm like, what the fuck? So so let me just tell you this: the cruise control has never worked in my 92, and the speedometer recently quit. And then the engine light started coming on, and then now I'm having sputtering issues. And I had not checked the check engine light. It's an OBD1. It doesn't, I guess it does have a little bit of a memory or something, but the engine light doesn't come on until You've been driving for like 10 minutes. So, and it usually still runs fine. It's like, I don't know what's going on with it. So anyways, I took it to O'Reilly's, and I go in and talk to the fucking kid that does not want to be there. He's just like, what do you want? I'm like, I'd like to use your OBD1 scanner. He's like, OBD1? I'm like, yeah, OBD1. He's like, we don't have that. I'm like, can you fucking look? You've probably never fucking used it. I bet you have one. He's like, nope, we don't have. He's like, look down. He's like, nope, we don't have it. I'm like, okay. Do you have a fucking paper clip? Because I can use a paper clip to do this. He's like, let me go to the office. Goes to the office, and I get on Amazon. Well, I just type in OBD1 scanner, and I look, and usually it's just they used to have actual scanners, but now everything's OBD2. So now they have like a little adapter. And so I showed him the picture. I was like, you don't have this adapter for the OBD1? No, man. Ain't got it. I'm like, oh, okay. You fucking O'Reilly's piece of shit. You don't know how to fucking look up anything. Is it two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive? Shut the fuck up! You, how do you not have any fucking knowledge at all? Like, does it have AC? Shut the fuck up, dude. It's an OBD1 scanner. I mean, they ask you fucking two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive on every fucking thing. Is it V8 or V6? None of this matters. Is it an OBD1 scanner, motherfucker? Or like you're like, hey, I need a fucking muffler, and they're like, is it going on a Honda or a Chevy? I don't fucking know. These fucking guys, it's like, give me the fucking computer. Usually what I do now is I just get on the O'Reillys.com app and just order this shit. Because they don't ever have anything. I mean, that's the times that we're in. But they never have shit for my truck anymore. They have it, but they don't stock it. They used to stock it. You'd go in there and get anything most of the time. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these O'Reilly's employees are really going fucking downhill. They don't know anything about anything. You'd think they'd learn something. Like, you want me to put your wipers on? No! Get out of here. You'll just fuck it up. I don't know. I'm a little salty today. So anyways, take the paper clip. He did get me a paper clip. That was nice of him. I was kind of expecting him to say, nope, don't have one. And I was going to go out to my truck and just find something. Well, I had that wire, so I could have used that wire. Anyways, I plug it in and I left the truck out there running because you turn the truck off, turn it back on, and the engine light's gone. So you've been running it for a while. So I left it running so I could check it. But I don't know. It was doing some weird shit. So then I had to, I turned the truck off, put the thing in there, turn the key on, and it was reading the codes. It was, code 1, and it'll blink once, and then it'll pause, and then blink twice. That means everything's good. So, and it'll do it 3 times. And then it started blinking, and it would blink twice, and then it would blink 4 times. So that's code 24, which is VSS, Vehicle Speed Sensor. This fucking Coca-Cola, man, how the fuck did I pass you? And you're like, oh, let me just hang out next to your bumper. Let me just hang out right here next to your bumper, right in your blind spot. You're in the no zone, bitch. So, anyways, it was reading that code, and I was like, all right, it's vehicle speed sensor. I look it up. It's on the tail shaft of the transmission or transfer case, depending on 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive. But it's the same fucking sensor. Well, I need to go down there and look and make sure it is, but I'm pretty sure. I haven't gone down there to look. I just looked it up. I'm like, all right, vehicle speed sensor controls your speedometer, controls your cruise control, and it can advance and retard your timing. So I'm thinking, because it was only in 5th gear, because it was so weird that how it was reading. How it's reading, because I'm a manual transmission, and I'm like, I don't think it doesn't really know what gear you're in. The only thing it knows, but it does have a shift light. Um, so I don't know. There's some. I thought having a 92, I would have, you know, less shit to worry about, and I probably do have less like wiring problems and shit to worry about. But still, I'm running into these 1992 fucking sensors going out. Come on, give me a water, you fuck. Thirsty. Dying of thirst over here. So it's like a $60 sensor. When I take it out, I talked to Chat GPT, so I am knowledgeable about trucks and stuff, but not. I'm more the mechanical side, the electrical side, and all these sensors and shit and placement. I don't really know. So I was like, let me just see what Chat GPT knows, and I gave it all the information, kind of talking to it like a human, and it was talking to me back like kind of like a human. Kind of interesting. But by the way, anybody can use it. Oh shit! Anybody can use Chat GPT. Just go to the official Chat GPT website, and it's right there. You can log in, or you can stay logged out, and you can still talk to it. But I don't think it generates images or anything. But you can still get information from it. So, uh, yeah, and yeah. So I would ask it a question. It would give me a long fucking reply. I wouldn't read it all. I would just ask, and then usually at the top, it'll give you the information that you want, and then it got other shit down at the bottom. I would just ask it each individual question, and then it would have all the prompts at the top. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. The Chat GPT said it's on the tail shaft of the transmission, and it knows that I have a NV 3500 and a 4.3 liter, and it's four-wheel drive, so it's got a transfer case. It knows all of this, and it I don't know, this thing, it's kind of amazing. I do like it. I just wish it would stop right here. I don't think we need any more AI. I think this is good. We're good where we're at, because it could get scary, And I also listen to podcasts and shit about AI taking over the fucking world and everything, so I might be a little bit more freaked out about it, but it's an awesome tool. I just wish it would stay a tool for humans to use, and I think it's going to turn into a tool that it's going to start replacing. I mean, it already has. It's going to be replacing a lot of jobs, and it's not going to slow down, because every time somebody, I don't know, I think every time somebody asks it a question, or it just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. But yeah, and people are using this all the time, and they're trying to find ways around shit. Kind of interesting. I would say ChatGPT is the better of the ones that I've used. I've used like Gemini, and I've used Llama 2 or whatever, Llama 3, whatever it is, on Facebook. There's a bunch of different ones, but I don't know. The ChatGPT seemed to give me a lot more straight up knowledge, because I used the Llama one, and I was asking it about my truck and stuff, and it didn't. It was like, oh yeah, at 2,500 RPMs it makes this much power and shit, and I'm like, why would you don't read horsepower in the middle of the RPM range? You read it at the top, and then you read what the max horsepower is at what RPM. 2,500 RPM is not the max horsepower. And I was also asking it questions like about my truck and stuff, just to test it, and it was getting quite a bit wrong, or just inaccurate. I guess that's the same thing. So, anyways, I just drove the truck home. It drove home fine, and then I was also reading that you can unhook the battery for like 20 minutes, and that should be enough to drain the capacitor, so it'll reset the computer and everything. And then I was driving it this morning, and it started sputtering pretty quick. So after unhooking the battery and everything, and I let it cool down, I had a little bit of coolant. I added coolant to it whenever it first started sputtering and stuff, because I just noticed it was a little bit low. The radiator in the system was full, but the reservoir was empty, so I added some to the reservoir and let it cool down a little bit, took the cap off, and checked it out. I don't know. I don't know. I might need a new radiator cap. I think the radiator's fine. There's no leaks, but there was a little bit of coolant. Even like it was just driving home. It should have, if there was any residue left over, it should have been dried up. But I saw a little bit of wetness, so I'm thinking my radiator cap is a little bit weak because it's got a spring in there. I replaced the radiator cap back when I worked at the lumberyard, at the original lumberyard, and that was a long time ago. I replaced the radiator cap and the thermostat because the thermostat got stuck closed. It got stuck open or closed. I'm pretty sure it was stuck closed because I was overheating. If it's stuck open, it should be running cold. But I put in a 185 degree thermostat in there, so now my truck, it doesn't get very hot, and I'm thinking about swapping it out to a little bit higher, like 205, because some people say it's better. You want your engine to get nice and hot, but yeah, my temp gauge never gets real hot. So anyways, I got that project. Kind of sucks that I'm going to be out working. Why are you going so slow on the highway, Subaru? Come on, people. Pass me so I can get around this fucking 60-mile-an-hour bitch. 75. I swear, if you speed up, be upset at you. Yeah, last night I got home. Kids were already in bed. The wife really wanted Culver's, so I made her go out to Culver's and pick it up. I was tired. I was ready to sit down. And they have a new burger. Oh, God, it's so good. It's a pub burger. I don't know exactly what's on it, but it's got a delicious sauce. I got a triple. Fucking delicious. And the little pretzel bites. I didn't get anything else. Just pretzel bites and a burger. And it was fucking amazing. I loved that. I was kind of curious about it because it's got like a potato bun or an everything bagel bun, or I don't know what the fuck it was, but I was like, damn, I'm glad I only have one of these. I would fucking shove a whole nother one in my fat face. Then I watched Kletus's race. I fell asleep before he finished, but Kletus McFarland, he's a YouTuber he's my favorite guy on YouTube, and he's in the ARCA racing, so it's like NASCAR but a little bit more amateur, I guess, or something. And he placed top 10 with a broken valve spring, which is fucking insane. hold in that draft. Them cars, you get in that draft, you're good. But yeah, he was a cylinder down basically, and still got top 10. I mean, what would he was doing so good that you can see when it broke. You can hear the engine sound a little bit different, and they just couldn't fix it in time in the pits, so he had to just keep racing it, and still got top 10. If that valve spring would have lasted, man, he could have got he would have definitely done better. But top 10, that's pretty fucking cool for his, I think his second race ever. Top 10 finish, pretty cool. Fell asleep, woke up, got my shit ready, and came to work. Got to work, forgot that my tractor was gone. Somebody took the tractor I was in, so I had to go find another tractor to use that's got good PTO. The mechanic was supposed to have my other tractor fixed, and he's like, "Man, I totally forgot about it. I fucking went home." Like, oh, great. what am I supposed to use? And so I just had to use this other tractor, which I hope my boss is cool with, because this one's set up for trash. We have two trucks set up for hauling the compactor trailers, and this is one of them, and the other one's out being used, so I hope they don't need another one. Got a big boy hauling ass onto the highway. TDC Freight, look at them go. I also had issues with that new tractor in the morning. I couldn't get the PTO to work right. There's a couple of different levers and settings you can do on the PTO, and I didn't realize it's got a whole gauge on what this lever is supposed to be set at for which types of trailers you're using. And I just had it on the wrong setting. It was like barely spinning, but as soon as I turned that dial, it started working really good. And that makes me kind of curious on, because I've never messed with that lever before. There's a big lever that says in dump and something else, and then there's another red lever down there that's got another little list of types of trailers and where the knob is supposed to be placed for which types of trailers. And I'm like, I've never known about this. Never once known about this. This might solve some issues that we've had in the past, because most of the levers are pulled out, and I had to push the lever in to make it work. So interesting. So yeah, this morning I got in. I had to get a tractor. I had to get my used pump oil drained. I had to get the other guy's used oil drained and get that dumped. And then his trailer was having some issues, but now I'm thinking it's that rubber gasket, so that should be good. But I did take apart one of his isolation chambers, and there was, I think it's just grit that's been in there for a long time, and it's turned into like these oval shaped pucks, because there's a bunch of them in there and they're all different sizes, and there's no way these got in there. And it also had a bunch of oil in it, and I had to drain his oil from it, and I had to scoop all this shit out. And so I'm hoping his truck is going to run a little bit better. It was spitting a little bit of pump oil out of the blow-off valve, which is makes me a little skeptical about what the fuck is going on. But his truck wasn't pulling a lot of vacuum, like or pressure. Whenever we set it to pressure, it's supposed to pull up to like push 15 pounds of PSI out of that tank, which is a lot for that big ass tank, and it was only going up to 8. But the gauge is a little fucked up, and I don't know the mechanics. I'm like, do you guys have another pressure gauge? They're like, no. Like, can you get one? They're like, no. Like, what the fuck? All right, how about blow off valve? Do you have another blow off valve? Because I think our blow off valve is weak. Because if it doesn't care what the gauge says, it's set to a certain parameter, and according to my math, it's only doing 8 psi, and that's why it's taking forever to offload. Like, we don't know, man. I'm like, come on, fucking help me out. And I'm in a rush. I got to get that guy ready to go, and he's over there. I'm like, pre-trip your truck. He's over there. He's over there for like 45 minutes just hanging out. I'm like, start your truck, man. Like, did you check the oil? Yeah. Coolant? Yeah. Fucking start it up, motherfucker. Like, you get that thing warmed up. It's got to build up air. Get the fuck out of here. Like, there's nothing else for you to do here. I need pump oil. I'll get it. Get the hell out of here. Go to the job site. I'll be the one late. So anyways, yeah, no pump oil. So might send the guys in the pickup truck up to a farm store or something to get some. And needed some extra hoses. Got some extra hoses. And so also my truck, it's also making, I don't know, you ever heard of a vehicle do a diesel? Like whenever you shut it, usually it's whenever you shut the truck off or shut an engine off, and it still runs a little bit, and it goes clank, 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 clank. Yeah, I can't make the sound, but my truck was running, and it started to sound kind of like that. So I don't know. I put brand new plugs and wires and everything in there, so maybe I need to. Last night I checked all the plugs, or not all the plugs, but the wires, and the truck is running fine. But yeah, at a certain RPM, I'm hearing something. It could be my valves need adjusted, which is, it could definitely be, because I haven't adjusted those valves ever. I've never taken anything off that engine except for the throttle body once, because it was sticking. So I might need to pull a valve cover and set the rocker arms. So I don't know. But I just hope I didn't blow the fucking engine. I'm hoping the engine isn't blown. I don't know. I'm hoping I can replace that sensor, and that's going to solve like all of my problems. Because it could be dieseling, or that's what it's called. It's called dieseling. Because it's putting the engine, it's advancing or retarding the timing at high RPMs. I also could have a vacuum leak, but I don't know. I'm thinking it's all gonna. I think replacing that sensor is gonna change a lot about this truck. I think it's gonna be all right. I think once I replace that sensor, it'll be okay. When am I gonna have time to fucking fix the sensor? Because I gotta get the sensor, and then I gotta replace it, and I gotta get some gear oil, because as soon as I take that sensor out, it's in the tail shaft of the transmission, so it's going to leak out a little bit of gear oil out of the transmission. Now, I wanted to do a transmission flush anyways. It's a manual, so it's a little bit different than an automatic. An automatic, you're never going to flush it all out, because that torque converter is going to be full of it, and it's not going to drain out. You can basically just, I don't know, doing a transmission flush on a transmission is kind of some work. But on my manual, it's just gear oil in there. Just gear oil. Should be able to drain it all out. Might even pull the pan. Put a new gasket in there. Just clean it out a little bit. It does have a lot of valleys and passages and all kinds of shit. There's some stuff you can do. Well, no, that I'm talking about my Turbo 350. That's the one I wanted to put a manual valve body in it, and then put a floor shifter in the 79, just to make it even more cool. So I could just be 1, 2, and 3. It's really 1, 2, and drive, but it's only a 3-speed, so it's 1, 2, and drive. And that's something I think I'm going to try to fabricate. It's a really simple deal. It's not like it's not going to be detrimental if it's a little, if it doesn't need to be machined and made perfect. It's just a shifter. Just got to move a little lever. I just hope I can get my geometry correct for it, and get that floor shift in my fucking 79. That thing, I was talking to it last night. I was like, don't be jealous. The kids need fucking work, man. The kids need work. The 92 and the 99. The 92 is my Silverado. My 99 is my fucking dirt bike. They're kids, man. They're kids compared to the 79. They need a little bit of work. And my 79 is just sitting there like, will you work on me at some point in time? Like, I fucked with you the other day, okay? And you just wanted to fucking scratch your starter up against the flywheel. Okay, I got your parts. I'll get you worked on eventually, but I need my reliable vehicles to be reliable first. I don't think you're going to be all that reliable. I think you're going to be a fun toy is what you are. So yeah, go over here. Oh, we're on site, so I'm going to let you go. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.